This is the Neoliberal Round podcast. We have an update as it relates to the government shutdown, and this particular episode of the Neoliberal Round podcast, myself, Ricardo, and another co-host, guest commentator, Randolph Travis, will discuss what's going on with the government shutdown and whether or not the government, whether or not the Republicans won or whether or not the Democrats won. That's coming up next. But here is the latest. We have Reed Cohen from CBS, who will give us an update as to the latest regarding this shutdown.
And a Senate vote late into the night to pass that funding bill. Finally, there's an end in sight to the U.S. government shutdown. 7 Democrats and an independent joined with Republicans to get the job done. Listen.
The ayes are 60, the nays are 40. The bill as amended is passed.
So the bill now heads to the House, and the big question is, what did Democrats get? They got a promise from Republicans to hold a December vote on extending healthcare tax credits. Some in Congress, though, are still skeptical that will ever happen.
Schumer's views are very different than mine. He is an establishment Democrat, no secret. I am not. I hope that by electing new members of the Senate, we will have, in fact, new leadership. But right now, it is what it is.
John Fetterman joined CBS Mornings today. He's the lone Democrat who voted in favor of the bill every time.
The key demand was about the Affordable Care Act. Some people call it Obamacare. What will happen with that now under this situation that you all are proposing? What happens to it?
What I'm hopeful is that we are going to create those kinds of extensions, but we have to negotiate with the Republicans because America decided to put us in the minority. Obviously Trump is in the White House, and they also have the majority in the House. That's the essence of democracy, to find a way forward, because our parties have different priorities. And that's why I've always refused to put our government in the middle of all of it, because millions and millions of American lives will be impacted that way. 2 things must be true. That I want to make healthcare more affordable for Obamacare, but I also think that our government should never be held as a hostage, whether it's a Republican or whether it's a Democrat. It's always wrong.
Why Democrats are still very angry about this legislation, and why Democrats in the House are all saying, for the most part, that they are not going to cross over and support it.
All right, so we know it's passed. It goes to the House. What's next?
Well, the House is making their way back to Washington. As you know, they've been out for the past 7 weeks before this, at the start of the shutdown. They are coming back. House Speaker Mike Johnson said, look, everybody should get back as soon as possible because of all the flight delays and chaos at the airports that's been caused because of this shutdown. So lawmakers are making their way back today. They are expected to start voting on this, Read, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Now, that could take a little while, but that is when they're hoping that everybody will be back in town in Washington to be able to move forward on this bill. And as it stands right now, we haven't seen any major defections from Republicans. Remember, I said most Democrats are going to vote against this. That means that Mike Johnson needs all of his Republican members here in Washington to cast their vote and to vote for this bill. He has pledged swift passage so long as everybody's in town. So we could see this signed into law if everything goes according to plan, everything goes well.
That's the report coming from CBS. Well, I sat down with 2 commentators here at the Neoliberal Round podcast. Randolph Travis, who is a guest commentator of the Neoliberal and a co-commentator on the Straight Talk, an episode, an installment series that we do every now and then. Also, Ricardo McKenzie, who is a senior producer of the Neoliberal, a board member here at the Neoliberal Corporation, but he's also the producer at the Neoliberal Round podcast and the co-host of The Pulse. Sat with him to talk about the fact that they have ended this standoff, and a deal is coming out of Capitol Hill, and it's as if there will be the government will be funded into the new year, just up to January, I believe. So we wanted to find out who did the Democrats win? Did they achieve anything? We had a very heated debate, and so I'm looking forward to sharing the conversation I had. That's what's coming up next on the Neoliberal Round.
And insurance just shit show, and affordability is still a problem with ordinary Americans.
And you give 20 billion. Let me chime in on that. And you give 20 billion to Argentina. You give another 10 billion to help to help with their economy with the beef. And then you tell us you don't have the money to come up with money for food, and you still fighting the government. And most of the people, fighting going to the Supreme Court over paying out SNAP benefits. And you think that this ain't gonna affect you? He's fucked. He's fucked. We did what we needed to do. No, I don't like how it ended. I don't like how the Republicans how the Democrats went on and opened it. But at this point, we've made the point, and at the end of the day, Republicans, no matter what happens now, they know that this is on the Republicans, and they still don't want to pass them.
Yeah, I agree with you. We had to open it up because, and it's not on them. It was only 8 Democrats who voted for the current bill. The current bill that you're voting on, Democrats were not involved in the process. It was partisan. Every bill that we've passed has always had some kind of budget across the board. And obviously, the Republican Party does not care for Americans. That is what we have. They are locking up people. ICE is going into American cities and locking up Americans and treating them like animals, even people who are Americans.
Well,
the fact that they could do that, Renaldo, they don't care about.
So you and Randy.
No, but be more graphic on what they do. Hold up, Renaldo, because you're trying to synopsis.
Wait,
let's see how
graphic
it was. The people that are being locked up, they got
flowing sewage
going on the
hold
ground,
up.
and they can't even sleep.
Yes, hold on. Okay, are we talking about the shutdown?
Yes, this all has to do with all.
What does that have to do with? Okay, the point is,
welcome to
this is straight talk,
and how they have taken the blame for the shutdown.
This is straight talk, and right now, what I have said earlier, the initial point, I'm here with Ricardo and Randy. What we said earlier, what I had said earlier was that what did they achieve? What did the Democrats achieve from this shutdown? They did not achieve anything.
Yes, they did.
They're not running the country. They can't achieve anything. Of course, they didn't achieve everything.
And you guys, I think that they did achieve something.
Yes.
Okay. And because people get to blame the Republicans.
They are. What is everybody talking about now? Their insurance premium. What are you about to do now? Sign up for insurance. What do you know? If you got to go tomorrow, I don't even want to look yet. But we're in that enrollment period right now. Everybody's talking about how high it's gone up. If you got a family and you on the open market, you can't. It's unaffordable. If you got a child that has any type of disability or needs ongoing care.
Okay, fine. So, what does that have to do with the shutdown?
And what we got people to say
the shutdown is Ricardo. What do you have to say?
A question and you need to answer it.
Okay, fine. But what? Okay, you were going to make a point. Sorry, go ahead.
You talking to me?
Either of you, yes.
I was saying that at the end of the day, people are going to realize, and this is not a Republican or Democrat thing, this is people who have pre-existing conditions are going to want to find a job, go get health insurance, and they can't afford it. The average plan, if you were paying $800 a month, has now jumped to over $4,000 a month. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is even saying, what the fuck are we doing? We want to cancel it, but what is our plan?
Okay.
If that's so, they put that to the light because the Republicans were going to spin it or trying to spin it and say that, it's just Obamacare was garbage. Obamacare was garbage, but they don't have a plan. And that's a problem for them. And now it's really a problem for them because if they did go ahead and open up the government, and I've still got mixed feelings about them opening up the government, but I do want people to get paid. People need to get paid. And we have an evil man in office who don't give a fuck about people starving. There's kids. I work with kids. People are really going to starve. And
fine. So you're okay. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump being evil.
But that has everything to do with the shutdown.
No, not many people think that he's evil. You think he's evil, okay?
He is evil.
You don't think he's evil?
He is evil.
You don't think he's evil? Okay, let's say the judge
hold
just
up,
ordered
hold up,
everybody
hold
to
up.
give him back SNAP benefits,
No,
right?
no, no,
And what
no.
did he do over the weekend?
Hold on. No, we will
What did he do over
not.
the
No.
weekend? Hold up.
Young man, this podcast will not. I'm telling you, a professional intellectual conversation. Wait, hold up. No, we are talking. This is how we. Hold up. What I'm saying is that we don't make a valid judgment about someone's conscience on this program. It's out of our purview to do so.
Okay.
And we all say judge not lest ye be judged. We don't make right. We don't make a valid judgment on people's conscience. So the government is shut down, and we're saying that we don't agree with the shutdown. You agree with it because the shutdown has brought light.
Yes.
To some of the issues that is affecting Americans. Okay, so and that's the first point. It has brought light on that. But it needed 8, 10 to 40 days for that to happen. Ricardo, any comment?
Agree. I agree with that. But we needed to know where the American people were, and that's why the election needed to happen.
Wait, Ricardo, hold on, Ricardo.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold up. You're saying it needed 4. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't care how many days it needed. They could have ended from last week.
Why didn't they end it from last week?
Well, they're beyond last week. That's in the past. Let's talk about now, the present. They had to end it because, first of all, Speaker Johnson had closed down the Congress, and they had closed down, so they weren't even working. The Democrats had reached across the table, did everything they could in order to come up with a bipartisan plan and say this is why we didn't vote. And it's not like they didn't shut it down. They voted against the bill that came up to them, and they said, no, it's going to hurt my constituents, and it's your job to do that. The bill came to fruition in front of you. You don't like it. All the Republicans in the Senate vote for it. The Democrats, except for a few of them, did not. Okay? What you can't call a Democrat shutdown. It's just 2 or is that? And to be honest with you, only about they needed 8. What happened? We got the 3 additional votes from Democrats who were in purple and red states who voted for the bill that needed passed. So it passed narrowly because they got every single Republican except for one person. So I'm not going to call it a Democrat shutdown. What I'm going to call it is there was an impasse, and the Republicans who manages both houses and the executive and the legislative branch, they came together and created a bill, regardless that 50 or 40%, 45% of American or representatives don't like it because it was not a unilateral thing. They did not negotiate. They just said, we're going to do whatever, and you're going to have to vote on it. And that's what they did. And so Democrats were like, no. 8 of them said, a few of them voted. But most of them said no, so you can't call it. They want to do that and blame name and say Democrat shutdown. It was not. Okay? It was a Republican shutdown because they came up with a bill and did not get any input from Democrats. And if they had gotten a little bit more input from Democrats, but the bill that they sent up to the Senate, then maybe they would not have shut down because they did not do what they're supposed to do. You can't run a country and not come together because you're managing in America, not just red states. And I feel as though if we are United States of America, we have to manage and govern the United States of America and not one section of people. Okay, a lot of people are going to lose their health care. They shed light to it. Yeah, they could have continued to end it, but it's not.
So let me ask you and Randy a question then. Okay, fine. We have the shutdown. So what are we hearing? Are they going? By the way, everyone, this is the Neoliberal podcast, and I'm Renaldo of the Neoliberal. We have Randy of the Straight Talker, and of course Ricardo of the Pulse. And so tell me, what's going on now in terms of healthcare? Because so they're going to fund the government. Wait, they're going to fund the government. They're going to fund the government until January. And so yeah, what's the question? What you said? What are you?
They are going to renegotiate, so that had nothing to do with this. You can't do that to do that. But the Republicans have not negotiated anything with the Democrats. They have not done anything. I have never seen it before. All they do is lie.
So wait, what your guys are telling me is that okay, they're planning on opening back the government, and they're still going to accept the bill. And they're still going to approve the big beautiful bill which got health insurance.
Yes, and what's going to happen though in January though, their constituents will be then got those insurance premiums, and it won't be sustainable unless they just want to be wiped out, and there not be a Republican Party, because that's what's going to happen if they don't, and they know this, and that's why. Either way, it's a win for Democrats on this issue.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe they will waive time.
They're going to make exceptions with insurance companies in the middle of the year.
The Republicans, they are so good at using certain words. They just put words in our heads and it's stuck. So what they do is the Republicans all rally around one talking point. They don't negotiate, and that's the thing. You call it a Democratic shutdown. It's not. 8 Democrats voted for the bill, and those 8, people need to look at that because it still wasn't.
Okay, who are these 8? You know, you guys.
Yes, what's his name? He just got booed. That's what they were just showing
Who's
today.
that?
Fetterman of Pennsylvania. He was just on The View today, and they booed his ass off.
Fetterman has been is completely a
But
Trump.
that's for our health insurance here in Pennsylvania that he voted for to get rid of.
What I don't understand with Fetterman is the Pennsylvania. The liberals, Democrats voted for him as well. I mean,
But do you know during that process there was a lot going on right
and
there.
independence.
But it was a lot of racism shit going on with him then. And a lot of people, your boy.
But Pennsylvania is an iffy state, though.
It is.
You know, Pennsylvania
It's very
has
racist. But they voted all Democratic this 2 weeks ago. Last week, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All Democrat. All them little switchy, all went Democrat.
Okay, fine. Who else? Who else voted?
I don't know the rest of them.
Ricardo,
but,
you know?
It
Any
was Angus King. He voted.
Okay.
The guy Klein. Was Hillary Clinton's vice president. I forgot his name.
Can't remember. Yeah.
But him.
Okay.
And there was a couple others. It was only 8 of them out of 43. So okay.
Okay.
That still doesn't mean anything. And the problem is, and this is what's going to happen with Mamdani. People are realizing that you don't just because first of all, and I know I'm going a little bit off, but it relates to this.
I'm happy you talk about whatever his name is. Ricardo is from New York, so Ricardo probably could. I haven't spoken to Ricardo to hear his reaction to Mamdani, whatever his name is being.
So listen, socialism.
Yes.
They hate socialism, but Obamacare is a socialist policy. They hate having people get free health care, what they call it free. But we pay for these government people to have health care, and the House ain't been in session for 8 weeks. We paying them. They get full year salary. They make more than everybody else, and they decide who could get help. Put their ass on the health care market.
By the way, I have the response for you. The senators the Democrats, who backed the Republican shutdown deal. Jude Shireen, he's the 7 Senate Democrats plus 1 independent voted on Sunday to support a Republican deal to reopen the U.S. government. The defections broke a week-long deadlock during which the Democratic Party resisted pressure to end the longest ever U.S. shutdown. The main reason Democrat senators gave for refusing to back the deal was the expiration of the healthcare subsidies, which they said would hit millions of households. So a group who sided with the Republicans and what they have to say. Tim Kaine, the first thing he had to say is that none of them face re-election in 2026, and Virginia Senator Clinton is no different. Hillary Clinton's running mate in 2016.
That's what I said.
He said that he backed the Republican deal because it would protect workers and set the U.S. on a path towards fixing Republican healthcare mess.
True. Why is that true? It's because Republicans got to do something now, and they can't blame nobody but themselves. Because they wanted to push through this instead of dealing with it now. So now, people in January, you're going to get your bill. You've already chosen your plan. I don't know what they're doing.
Okay. I want to tell you what's happening.
Gene.
This is an out-of-the-box idea. Are you ready for it? Out-of-the-box idea, Renaldo.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans don't want health care, and they don't want Obamacare. One, Barack Obama is hated by Donald Trump, and they don't want to give him. They don't even want a better healthcare system. What they want is for Americans who do 1099, who get any kind of government help whatsoever to go get an extra job. If you have to work 2 jobs to pay your health care, you have to. You have to go and work in a traditional company now to get health care. They don't want anyone to go to the market system because a lot of people are doing 1099. They want everyone to go to work, and even if they have to get lower pay, that's what they're doing. That's what I'm thinking is happening. The idea here is to not support. However, the problem you're going to have now is, what about children and what about seniors? Because what they want is for everyone between certain age, including even 27-year-olds. That's what they're doing. They want everyone to get a regular 9-to-5 or job. They want all of us to go back to work. Because a lot of Americans now, after COVID, have their own jobs. They're 1099. They have the insurance through Obamacare, and it's great. All right, because they don't have to pay that much because it's the marketplace to their current jobs. So now everyone who's on 1099 can't do that because they're going to increase your rate because you're not protected anymore. The idea is now all of these people now have to go back to a job. They have to go to work and work for a restaurant or work for Dunkin' Donuts or farm or work for any company that these big billionaires have established. Now we have to go back to work and work for the man. You can't have your own company anymore. So that's what they're changing the system so that we all now have to go back to work. They don't want people to have 1099. You said it, Renaldo, recently that they're discouraging people from having their own job because all these people are influencers. They're all 1099. There's a lot more people who are employed.
That's why they were regulating social media. Yeah.
Yes, so this is what's going on. You don't see it, but I always talk about out of the box ideas. This is just a theory.
But by the way, so Angus King, Dick Durbin from Illinois was one of the House people that backed it, Democrat. He's the whip, Jackie Rosen as well. You know Jackie Rosen from Nevada. John Fetterman said he did it because, and then said, "I'm sorry to our military SNAP recipients, government workers, Capitol Police, who haven't been paid in weeks." So it affects people in a very significant way. So Catherine Cortez Masto, Najee Hassan, Jean Shaheen.
I would not move Fetterman. People don't think. I'm thinking out of the box. For me, you and I discussed this together when we were together. We didn't record it. I told you they should end the shutdown last week because your job, Donald Trump and Republican is not going to negotiate with them. They're liars. There's no negotiation. So what Democrats did do, however, is shed light that a lot of Americans are going to no longer have the kind of protection under our healthcare system, and it's going to be even harder for Americans, especially seniors and young people and people without a job, to have insurance in this country. That's what's going to happen. If you are unemployed and you need to go to the healthcare and get some type of reprieve, you can't get that. You're going to get
I'm going to make a statement. This show is about news commentary. The Neoliberal Round started as a grassroots platform, and we provide news commentary. And Ricardo, this is important. I believe it was a political move. I believe it was all the Democrats' response, okay, to what they believe would have affected Americans' healthcare was I think a political move, because it's a political move because they wanted to score points. That is what, and which affected millions of Americans. The same Americans who they say the healthcare effect as well will affect. So I don't, I don't believe that the Democrats have been struggling with messaging and strategy, and this was a bad strategy. Because first of all, the fact that they broke, and I said to you, why so long? Okay, we have the 20th.
What was a bad strategy? Which strategy? Which one?
Delaying the government, extending the shutdown. Okay.
You're not listening to me. The Democrats did not create the shutdown. I don't
Ricardo, the Democrats refusal to the Democrats filibustered. Okay, filibustered the Republican deal. That is why they were the shutdown. It had nothing to do with the Republican. The Democrats refused to. It was because they were filibuster. the Democrats filibustered the bill.
No. You're putting two different issues here. The bill was filibustered by the Congress, not the Senate. The Congress put up the bill and sent it to the Senate. It was filibustered before the bill itself, the bill itself was passed. However, after the filibuster, what's his name, Speaker, whatever his name, did the longest time on the floor, and it was finally over, it was passed, and then they sent it, and it was passed without Democrats.
Okay, so what I'm saying, fine, Ricardo. What I'm saying, no.
Then it was sent to every bill has to be voted on. 6 Democrats voted for it, but there are more Republicans.
I did report earlier because I did report that seven Senate Democrats.
So you're telling me if a bill comes to you and nobody negotiates,
and it wasn't. It sorry,
I'm
and
a
it
senator representing Philadelphia.
sorry.
Wait,
Okay, it
I'm
was.
a senator representing Philadelphia. Hold on. And a bill comes to me, and I think I don't like that bill because some of my constituents are going to be affected, and nobody negotiates me. They just want me to just put yes.
No, Ricardo. But first of all, the shutdown happened. Okay, fine. You said that the bill is a separate issue. No, it's not a separate issue. They made it an issue. They did. Okay, they wanted them to make adjustments to the big beautiful bill and use the government, the funding of the government as a tool, yes, to get.
That's what it does. That's your job.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. Okay, and that's what I'm saying.
You could say, Renaldo, when a bill is passed by the House, it is sent to the Senate, the vote, and it got it didn't get the right number of votes.
And by the way, the point I'm trying to is the funding deal. It was a funding deal. The refusing to back a funding deal was based on the expiration of healthcare subsidies, which many Democrats said would hit millions of households. Okay.
So, again,
Ricardo, I'm reading. I'm reading. It says during that, the main reason the Democratic senators gave for refusing to back a funding deal was the expiry of healthcare subsidies, which they said would hit millions of households. But what I'm saying is that
Hold up.
Only 8 Democrats voted.
No, but I'm saying why? It's two different points right here.
The reason why they did not mind doing the shutdown is because right now with what's been funded, he's taking the funding away from them projects anyway, and it's already been funded. So what does it matter if they pass a bill? Is their other argument? So it's not just that argument. It's on top of that, right, Ricardo? That, he didn't fund it's already been funded, the New York subway or whatever. That's already been funded, but he's not doing it.
What's the point?
He's taking money.
Hold on, Ricardo.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying, Ricky?
This is how it works. You could send a bill. You keep saying Democrats. Renaldo, only two.
No, we're not disagreeing, really. I think we're confusing points here. I'm making 2 points. I said one, of course, it was 7 Democrats. It was 7 Democrats who voted, who broke with the other Democrats, and 1 independent. Okay, just so you know. 1 person is independent, and I said it to you. There's 1 independent who Angus is independent. The others are Democrats. And what I'm saying to you, the Democrats initially, the shutdown happened because the Democrats refused, to
sign a bill.
That
took their constituents off their health care.
To fund the government. Yes?
They took their constituents off
their
health
bone
care.
of contention was some other bill, the healthcare bill. He needs to agree to include in the big beautiful bill, the extension of the premium for government. Okay, or we won't sign the bill to fund the government now. That was what happened. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. But
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
If that's how, because I know that's how Republicans are spending it. But go ahead.
That is what happened, ladies and
That
I'm
is-
telling you, the Democrats refuse.
Who is going to sign a bill that doesn't protect the people who you were voted in to protect?
But you are already not protecting them by using a strategy, developing a strategy that also affect them.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Trump has already fired people under these different laws. We don't even know it's legal. And the good thing is, those people that were fired, they were given their jobs back too. That's another good thing that came back for them to open this back up. SNAP benefits, that's pure evil on Donald Trump, though. Trump could have gave that money out before they had a fund already to the side. They had nothing to do with the government shutdown. Trump chose to use that, which is another thing that's going to hurt Republicans. He chose to do that. That he had the money.
I don't know about that.
He did. He had the money. He could pay people. He say he could pay people. How you think he gonna pay the $2,000? I got a contingency fund. He moving money around. It's illegal.
Well, I mean,
Congress holds the pocketbook, not Trump.
We're still in a deficit, and there are many people who.
Where is the money from last year, Renaldo?
We're still in a deficit, and okay, just so you know, we're still in a deficit. We still owe $1 trillion,
and he created that.
I mean, he didn't create the deficit. Okay?
He created a lot in his term. In his 2 terms, he's created more debt than any other president.
I don't know about that.
Go look it up.
We'll look it up. I mean,
you don't hear your brothers denying that.
No, he never said that.
Yes, he did.
It doesn't matter though. I mean,
then don't say Americans. Trump.
No, it wasn't Trump. It was for them. He's serving the American people.
How? What is he doing serving the American? Tell me how he's serving the American people. We are suffering. We going to food banks. The permit is the worst ever in the world.
No.
And he's getting millions. He's opening the dining rooms with gold-plated chisels and shit, and we're suffering. What the fuck do you mean he's for the people? How?
I mean, he's been the president, okay?
He's the president, and who's the president? I don't know if Stephen Miller or that whole crew is the president. We don't know who the president is.
On the issue of immigration, we know why he's created ICE to go deep in America and to try to root out illegal immigrants who came here over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
And what illegal immigrants is he rooting out?
I mean,
which
don't hear people talking about immigration issues now. Okay, so I'm not... Hold up, guys. I'm not going to pretend as though he's all bad, but I'm not...
How is he all good?
Okay.
What's good? Just name one thing good he's doing.
All have sinned and fallen short.
Can you tell me one thing good he's done?
We just name some of them.
What?
You hear people talking about immigration being an issue right now? What's going on, on the border?
People are not happy what's going on with immigration.
But is that okay? You can't.
The borders are closed. Yes, they're happy with that. But what else are they happy about?
You complain about the borders and immigrants. Okay, you fix that.
I never complained about the
border.
But
but there people were complaining. So come on,
instead of doing this, why don't they deal with why people are running from that country?
People won't like you. All the way, people won't like everything you do.
Okay.
You create.
What do they like about him then? Tell me what else they like about him.
Of course, he's charismatic and funny.
Oh, that's what it is.
But this is the Neoliberal podcast. We are talking. This is straight talk. We're talking about what's going on, the pulse of the country. Ricardo was on earlier. He had to go off. But please send us your feedback. Let us know what do you feel about the shutdown. Do you agree with the shutdown? Who do you think were the losers and the winners? Do you believe that the Democrats won? Do you believe that they lost? I have some concerns about the shutdown. I don't believe it was. I believe it was political. I believe the Democrats wanted to score points in a sense, and they could have used another way if they wanted to shed light about health insurance issues and so on. About premiums expiring, they could have done so another way. This is the 21st century. We have technology. Okay, they need to facilitate more conversations within their constituencies and so on and so forth, and negotiate. Instead, what we have done was over the last 4 weeks or so, they have provided Donald Trump with unilateral authority to make decisions that ultimately affect food stamps and the very same people the healthcare people who they said they're champion for. People whose healthcare are going to lose their premiums and so on and so forth. They're championing those people. But yet still the shutdown that they are not agreeing to fund, the shutdown which is caused by the Democrats,
That's your opinion.
It is caused by the actions of the Democrats. Okay? Their refusal to agree to fund the government, to sign off on the deal to sign the government. Out because they did not agree with the fact that the Obamacare and healthcare premiums were expiring. Okay? And they wanted to force the president's hand. Okay? This is the Neoliberal podcast. And I'm Renaldo McKenzie. Please visit us at neoliberal.com, anchor.fm/neoliberal on any stream, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Podvine, Amazon Music, so on and so forth. We are also on YouTube at Renaldo McKenzie. And please support us by donating to this show. Send us a feedback, Renaldo McKenzie, and PayPal Renaldo McKenzie. And of course, let us know how we, if you want to get a copy of the book is available at store.neoliberal.com. And of course, Neoliberal is on YouTube. We are hoping to release it ahead of November 25. Thank you, Randy, for your comments. Thank you, Phil, for being a part of the studio. And he was spectating, listening from the background. You might have heard him earlier. And of course, Ricardo there. I'm Renaldo McKenzie. Walker. And we are... This is the Neoliberal Podcast.